Hello, hello. So, I know you're disappointed. You're not going to be seeing my face tonight, but that's the way it goes. It's either me or the loop, and the loop wins this time. So, just be aware. I want to say, first of all, Freaky Monday, thank you for being first one in on the stream here. Appreciate it. It's been a little while. Glad you haven't fully abandoned me. But yeah, I do believe that there's an intro to sort of what's going on here, and the best way to deal with that intro is maybe just to read it off. Let me see if I can. I'm still attached. I know. I gotta keep make sure you're still on the line. Let me just move some of these items away here. I gotta find Pizza Light's intro. Where it talks about dating strategy. Yeah, you got to make sure you don't don't do too much, but don't do too little either, right? Mm-hmm. But let's get into a little bit of this here. I just wanted to say, if you're new to the channel, there is a little subscribe button, probably right about here. You might want to click that. I wouldn't be upset if you did. It'd be nice. Then, I can maybe see you on another stream and say what's up. There's also somewhere around over here a like button. If you hit that like button, it would mean the world to me. I know, sometimes you see something and you like it and you forget to like it. And plus, if you're embarrassed to like this video, just turn off your like history. All right? People don't need to know that. Yeah, don't you worry. So first of all, this is an experiment right now that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Ever since I bought this German-made, you can publicly like, aw, you're not afraid to hide it. Let me see here if I can find the intro here. I was like, this would be a good intro to this segment. I'm like just scrolling trying to find it. Here we go. So here we have one German-made water cooling pump, but that's not mine. One credit card receipt for a German-made water cooling pump signed by Sweet Baby J. I'm telling you, baby, that's not my bag. One warranty card for a German-made water cooling pump filled out by Sweet Baby J. I don't even know what this is. This is not my thing, babe. I use D5s. I don't use AIOs. Come on. It's not my bag, baby. In one book, AIO pumps by Sweet Baby J. This is my bag, baby. I'm glad you're not Baby J phobic. It means the world to me, Freaky Monday, that you're not. So, here's a little bitty that I've been working on here. I just made like a very simple custom loop. I did a quick little measurement inside my one case. Unfortunately, the case was an NZXT S430, which cannot handle a 360 mil rad. But anyways, we're going to see. I've heard people talking about, this Alphacool Eisbaer LT pump, not strong enough, not enough flow. And I kind of believe it, but I want to see it. And I just want to try it. And so what we got here is, I got a quick disconnect here. So we've got our rad, our AIO pump. And this is a 3090 right here. So I have this is a vertical mount from the Thermaltake P3 case. And it has the stupid PCI 3.0 extension riser here. And I know this thing, it weighs a ton, and it was going to flop over and land on things and bend tubes and stuff. And I was like, This thing weighs so much. It's very heavy. Like just this block alone. So this is the back plate. So it's active back plate cooling, and you've got your front plate here. This baby's used. There's a little bit of liquid still in there, a little bit of sediment from when it was in the loop too. I still haven't cleaned it out. And my idea was, I'm gonna clean it out by just running some distilled water with this pump. I'm gonna run the distilled water through, mix it up, clean it out, wash, rinse, rather repeat. You like that reflection? Can you see my face? Hello. What's up? I'm just hiding here behind my microphone. Yee. I can't. My face is everywhere. It's everywhere, baby. In fact, my face is it's like right over there too. It's tiny, but it's there. So I wanted to use this pump, and I made a few modifications. Now, one of the things that I must say is Alphacool, as much as I love them, it's like sweet, German company. Oh yeah, it's a German engineering. Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. Can I just say that Barrow fittings are way better than these dinky, crappy, like cast in 1920 Alphacool fittings. Like, okay, let's be fair. This is a 90 from Alphacool. This is the Alphacool fitting. Now this is for a smaller tube diameter, and look at this. I want to show you something. I just want to show you the difference here in quality, as far as let's get should I get the zoom in here so we can see the deets here. Let's do this. I'm gonna get the zoom in here. All right. There we go. Boom, baby. We zoomed. All right. So this is the Alphacool fitting. You've got like a tiny barb here. And then here is the Barrow fitting. You've got this nice big barb right here. Like we're talking we're finding you in the upside down barb here. And the barb that no one wants to look for in the upside down. And it's also too, this might be part of the reason why the flow on this is so sucky. Like, look at the diameter. Now, obviously this is for a different type of tubing. Like this is for 1/2-inch ID tubing. And as far as soft tubing goes, it's the biggest you can go. So 1/2-inch ID is the biggest you can go, 13 mil. They also call it 13 mil ID. You can get 5/8 or is it 1/2-inch? I don't know. But yeah, Mew versus the guy. Like this thing literally, it fits inside of there. Like that's how big it is. Like it's terrible, Also too, you've got like this reducer in there. So you have that sort of messing with your flow. You've got a bunch of this mineral deposits in this, just because this was in the loop for a year or so. But the crazy thing is too, the coolant in this thing was absolute garbage compared to this Corsair coolant that I'm using, the XL5 coolant. And you've got this nice smooth straight passageway here. You can see even like the reflection in there. So I'm thinking that since I replaced these with this and also this 90, which is even more restrictive, I think it's actually this tiny passage like all the way through. So, and since I replaced it with these, which looks like much more flow, we actually might get some half decent flow from this little baby here. So this is my thought process tonight, and that is my intro into this. So what I did is I'm going to just show a little bit about, a little bit of a how-to as well. Nah, I think you would lose something to them. Like as far as flow is concerned, anytime you change direction, reduces your flow. Anytime you go from one size smaller or from bigger to smaller, that also. So this, you've got water coming from this larger passage, which is the G-quarter fitting portion, and then it's coming out this like tiny output. I got my Vern skis here, my verniers. I'm gonna do a little measurement here on this. So we'll go here on, oops, on. We'll zero this. We're gonna go. Should we go mils? Let's go mils. We're in Canada. I know. Yeah. So ID on this is like 6 1/4 mil, right? And it's going from the G-quarter one, which is like 9.5 mil. So you're seeing like 9.49. So 9.5 mil down to like 6 1/4 mil. You know, some of these actually across some of it, you're looking, yeah, 6 1/4. So yeah, 9.5 to 6 1/4. That's a significant. Oh yeah, removing those. Yeah, definitely removing those would reduce the impedance to the flow. Also, one of the interesting things, like these Alphacool fittings have like these little like pins here. So if you use like a wrench with 2 pins on it, you can like reef on them. Also too, they've got actually a flat surface here. Also, so you can just like torque them down like crazy, which in my opinion is kind of pointless, because all of your sealing actually is done by the O-ring in here, and done by smushing the tube, not from, you know. Now, granted, the tubes that come with the Alphacool Eisbaer kit are quite hard. So, yeah, you got to deal with that. So let's get started here. I'm going to just start taking this stuff apart. Easiest way for this is to, yeah, we're just going to go vertical here and take that baby off. And, you know, just show a little bit of how you do these fittings and how really, like, as far as if you're going like soft tube, it's really quite foolproof. I'm telling you, it's so much easier than you think. And, you know, one of the things I do also like to do with this, so I'm going to just take this guy off here. Make sure you hold sometimes the tube. Oh no, that's why. Yeah, we've got our, oh no, it is very, very, it's quite flexible and soft, to be honest. It's true. The tubing, that is. And the great news with this, again, on my other stream, I talked about it. Oof, we got a little bit of liquid in here still. I talked about it in my other stream, is that EPDM tubing is really nice and soft and quite flexible. You know, you've got like just super flexible. Let me see if I can find, as I knock some stuff down over here. Oh no, I don't. I do have the this is basically the same tubing, same material as this tubing. I bought some of this to sort of refurbish this. I don't know if you remember when that crazy sort of like thing was going around the internet, or the tech space rather, where, you know, everybody's like, you gotta mount your AIO with the rad ports down, or else your pump is gonna explode and your rig's gonna start on fire. And, you know, people were like talking like, you know, it's gonna be the end of the world. But yeah, thank goodness, you know, Steve, and so I bought into that crazy. So what ended up happening was I got the tubing to replace the stock tubing, and I got like just super long tubes to run it, just so I could mount these ports down on the Thermaltake P3, because like basically there is no rad in the world that was made before that video talking about, you know, having these ports down that would be mounted off to the side with these ports down, and you'd have enough room from your block down to those ports. So now you can see why I have this on that, because it can actually stand upright. Actually, I've got this sweet tool. Just gotta get it. There we go. Okay, this thing. I love this thing. Ah, so good for these. You can grab on to these fittings, tighten them, and it's plastic, so you're not going to break things. I actually like to just do it like that. And there we go. So we're just going to pretend like you've got your item here. This looks like a crack pipe. I know, demonetized instantly for saying that. So here's your water block. This is only really made to be in an AIO. So basically you've got your block for cooling your CPU, and you've got your inlet, outlet. I know it's not labeled, but I had it up the other day and I'm like, shoot, I need to bring it back up just to make sure I don't mess it up. It's in the Alphacool Eisbaer LT manual. All right. And it says it here in German. All right. You've got your Einlass and your Auslass here. Auslass is outlet. Einlass is inlet. And your Eisbaer. Einlass, Eisbaer, Auslass. Okay. Now we're all learning. Now that we're all fluent in German. Okay. Gonna clean this baby up a little. And we're gonna reconnect some items here. So I think I've shown a few times, like I've shown before too, like how you want to connect your fittings. So let me see. I've got this guy here. I'll do a quick little rehash of it. Yeah, I'll do a quick little rehash of the. Ach du Lieber, this is tight, ja. Anybody who's German who's like watching is just like crying, like he's butchering everything about my language right now. So I'm going to zoom in quick and we're going to take a little peek. Boop. All right, so we're going to move this guy out of the way so we can focus in on how easy these soft fittings are. So right here. Let me bring this microphone a little closer here so we can get a little bit more intimate. All right, so here's your fitting with the barbs. And here's your nice, soft, flexible tube. You just want to push it gently, just to get it in. Just like that. Look around the outside of it. Make sure that you've got nice, even contact all the way down. Make sure everything's past the barb. And then you slide this back. And you just hand tighten that until this baby is flush. So you shouldn't see much. You shouldn't see a gap here. You can bring it down all the way until there's no gap. And now you've got actually a nice stretched, hard press seal because it's nice soft rubber. No worries, no worries. Now this one particular has a potential to kink because it was stored with it bent right here. So we're going to have to just deal with that. So I'm going to zoom out now to give it a little bit of a better view. But again, these, actually, you know what? I'm going to do a quick attachment as well here. Let's move this out of the way so we can get, there we go, get it past the chat here so you can see. Here on this block, you've got your in and your out. Now, again, if this was just a single-sided block, like most are typically, anything that's not a 3090 is going to most likely not need an active backplate cooling. 3090s, for the dumbest reason, they decided to go with the 1 gig modules and 12 on one side, 12 on the other. Really dumb. But hey, it's the price we pay. So this is actually where you would need to be careful. So this is, what's the material called? Acrylic. Or close to acrylic, which means it's prone to cracking. It's not POM, which is a lot more resistive to cracking. This is acrylic, so you're going to be careful not to crack it. And again, you see your sealing is going to come from that little green O-ring there. You're just going to tighten that on there until it's flush. Once that's sitting flush and flat, there's no reason to go any tighter. Unless you're going to be twisting, because sometimes when you twist, if you haven't gone tight enough, it's going to start to untwist. So you got to be very careful with that aspect of it. So again, don't go so tight that you're trying to, like, bore a hole through with your fitting, because the fitting is stronger and it will break your block. And a fitting is not, or a block is definitely not something you want to ruin. This piece on top is, you know, separate and replaceable, which is nice, but it's from AliExpress. So if you break it, that's like 5 months of waiting for a replacement. So here's our soft tube sticking out. And that is going to go on to here. Now, what I'm thinking of doing with this is, yeah, I'm going to do my filling later on. Don't forget to put this on, because if you do, guess what? You are not going to have, well, you're not going to be able to tighten it on there. Again, you just sort of slide that on. Actually, before I do that, I am going to attach this other one, because again, you're going to want to make sure that you have space to attach such things. This I am, again, so this material here is a lot less prone to cracking. So this is that POM material. It's not acrylic. It's nicer as far as like functionality is concerned, but it's not so nice as far as like looks are concerned. So you're gonna, yeah, so nice and tight. Again, you just want to bottom that out so it's flush against there. Here again, this one's already bottomed out and flush. We are also gonna at some point be filling this with water. I've just got some distilled water that I'm gonna be using to clean it out. Again, that's sort of more my goal than anything, is just to clean this. And, you know, thankfully, this is all spaced nicely, so you're not going to have too much issue. And again, we're going to have it here, so we're going to want to make sure we don't twist, because one of the things you have to be careful about is when you're routing your tubing is not to twist it on these fittings. So you're going to probably want to hold here and make sure that it spins on the outside, because if it starts gripping and spinning inside, you're going to have a little bit of a problem later on. So now that's nice and bottomed out. We're nice and tight. There's a 99% chance this is not going to leak. All right. And so, you know what? I'm going to just keep this zoomed in. I'm just going to keep shifting around to these different ports. So this one already has, you probably can't see it from this angle, but this already has a fitting on it, and that's already bottomed out. This rad is a little bit dirty inside, so there might be some junk coming through when we start this up. And we are going to spin this up. We're going to fill it with water, and we are going to start running it. And we're going to look at it and see if we can see some bubbles. And we're going to just sort of like route it so the tubing is nice and smooth, not too sharp at bends. I wish I had a case that the 360 mil would fit in, but alas, we do not. This guy here, I'm just going to keep this. This has the other end of the quick disconnect, and I'm actually going to be using this part here as my my filling area. So I'm going to put this on. We're going to tighten this on. I'm just going to keep this in one piece, which makes it a lot easier. I highly recommend, obviously, you know, pre-measuring, dry fitting everything in your case to make sure that is fitting. And yeah, and this guy here now, and you know, a part of that too, that dry fitting and putting it in your case and trimming and all that is going to be to make sure that there's no kinks in the line, because again, if you have the line kinked, you're not going to have a lot of you're just not going to have a lot of fun. Let's be honest. So this is nice and tight. Again, you got to be careful too when you have like things hanging off like this. This is, you know, just a nice way of keeping this smooth, and you know, and just like that, you know, we've got this whole thing all together. Now, you can get some high quality pumps that are integrated into blocks that have enough power definitely to run through a system. So literally building your own water cooling loop can be like that fast after you measure your tubes and cut them. And cutting them for these tubes is so easy. It's like, you know, you cut them with a pair of scissors, to be honest. So we've got that. I'm going to zoom out now so we can see like the whole thing. And there we go. Honestly, I love running these tubes so much. Like, I love sort of these smooth bends. I don't know, just it looks, It feels nice to me. So, you know, if you had this, right, say you have this in like a vertical mount, you know, your CPU is going to be probably around here. Now, see, you're going to get kinking here. You might want to go like a little shorter, right? If your CPU is going to be here, you know, just so it doesn't have that potential to kink. And again, that's that spot that wants to kink because it's been in storage. So here we have our loop. It's looking good. It's dry, like totally dry. So we are going to we're gonna fill it up a little here. So I'm gonna open this, and what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna unscrew this fitting here, and I've got just a little spray bottle. These are so key. There is a port on here for filling as well. I'm not going to fill there yet, but at the end, before I even power it up, I am going to bring this up high and open the port to make sure that there's no air trapped in the pump, because running the pump dry is very bad for it. You know, I'm just going to like start filling from here. Oop. Doesn't really flow so well. Oh, no wonder it's sealed here. That's why it's not flowing so well. There we go. Oops, as I drop that. This is one of the benefits of quick disconnects. I can actually fill probably from here really quick. Just keep it far away in case that output flow of this sort of catches up on me. Don't think it will, but you never know. Yeah, actually, this end on here is actually quite restrictive. So I'm going to take that off, and we're just going to go a little bit more full bore here. And this is actually probably kind of boring from this angle. So what I'm going to try doing is I'm going to try just like maybe tilting this guy so you can actually see it going in to here. Let's make sure these are not kinked. So we'll put that there, and I'll just actually try just putting this in here. So this is distilled water, and you'll probably see it coming in. Oh, yeah, there we go. And that should start filling up this guy. There might be some little bits of residue from the old coolant in there. I always run clear coolant, which makes just cleanup a lot easier. So that's kind of almost filled up to the top. I'm just going to tilt this guy this way. And we'll try and get that to drain into there a little. You know, we're going to leave that like that because that's starting to fill. I'm going to fill some in here. This will be sort of filling into the rad. Typically, you know, if you want to like run through this easier, you do sort of fill the rad first. So I really hope I don't. Oh, we're dripping out of here. We're dripping out here. Oh dear. Oh, we went too far. Thankfully, we're not powering up this. We're not powering up this. This guy here. So I'm gonna quickly. Yeah, I'm gonna put this guy on. And we're gonna not powering up the 3090, and this is just distilled water, so at some point this will be just sort of this will just dry up and it'll be all right. I'm just gonna have that on there, so that's sealed. That shouldn't be leaking. If it is, then you know we've got some other issues that we have to deal with, but there we go. So we'll clean up that dribble. A little bit of a dribble out here. We're good. We're good. Whew. All right. Let's see. Get some of this water out here. You can see, like, come on. Stop being blurry. Stop being blurry. There we go. All right. So we got some water air bubble here. you know. Maybe we'll open up this port here and start. See if we can fill. So this port here is actually a 6 mil hex. I have my screwdriver around here somewhere that attaches to this. There we go. So we can open this guy. And this also allows us to add some more in here. So we'll add this in here. When I first did this, I actually used like a syringe. I was like so careful. All right. Ooh, there we go. Ooh. There you go. Tap, tap, tap. Get those water bubbles out. Tap, tap. Yeah, you can see. Just gonna squirt a little bit more in. Oop. Okay. Shake that. All right, let's maybe give this a wipe and give a little twirly twirl of this stuff to get some air bubbles out. Okay. A little bit of water came back out of here. See, this is the good news. Like when you're using like distilled water, it's like it's not super risky. You're not getting a ton of junk. But let's see here. Oof. So I keep bumping things here. Let's see, huh? Will this guy leak out water? This guy looks pretty full too. Looks like he's starting to leak too. All right, maybe we can do a quick little run of this, and we'll see how the flow goes, eh? I think there's definitely some room. There's definitely some room in the block here, I think. Yeah, there's definitely some room in the block here. Actually, let's just like, can we just flow some in there? There we go. Just gonna hold that. And... yeah. Get some of this air out here. Get some air out here. There we go. All right, let's see. Good. This block here is mostly dry. So let's see if we can maybe add a bit more in here. There we go. Yeah. Here we are. You can see now our water is all drained out of here. So we can add some more. Ah, buggers. Too much flow at a bad angle. Oh man. It's like, yeah, and this guy said he was like knows stuff about it. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I'm gonna put that. Where's the restrictive tip? Where'd I put that tip? There it is. It's hiding underneath this. Here we go. Just trying to give you guys an angle here that you can see. But it's like every angle. What is going on here? Why? Why? That's not good. It's just not wanting to allow water in at that angle. I am having some issues here. Hey, Robloxix, welcome. I knew you'd be here. We're doing a water cooling loop. No games tonight, man. Unless it's a water fight, in which I'm losing. Let's see, maybe I can just do it from here. Perhaps if I do it like this, and maybe I loosen this guy here again. Let's see. There we go. Perhaps if I do it like that, I'll just hold this on here. So if that's gonna start leaking out, it yeah, this guy here is like, why is this guy not like, there's an air bubble there. Oh, unless that, is that water all the way? Maybe. All right. You know what we're gonna do? Yeah. We're gonna close this guy here. It might be blocked by air. Yeah, depending on how you do it, right? It could burst, but to be honest, it's actually quite safe. It's obviously not as safe as an air cooler as far as, preventing water damage, go figure, you get rid of the water. There's a lot less chance of water damage, but aside from that factoid, there's not much benefit, let's say. All right, so I'm going to try hooking this up. And just as I talked about, how like, oh, it's not that big of a risk, we're going to see, because who knows, maybe there might be a water explosion here. So that guy's tight. This guy here is tight. That guy there is tight. Tight, tight, tight. All right, here we go. Let's see. I've got a little fan hub here, and I've got this guy here, which is me. Molex coming off of my PC right now. So if the stream cuts out, there's been a disaster. Just be forewarned. So just push this guy here on. There. All right. This baby's hot. So to extend this, I'm actually going to just put this, there's a cable extension here. This will just make it a little bit easier to plug it in and unplug it. So we'll see here. Let's put it like this. Make sure our tubes are not kinked. Let's see here. Did I screw things up here? No, I didn't. All right, here we go. All right, make sure our tubes are nice. Okay. I'm going to try tilting this guy so we can see it. We should be seeing water running through here. This is going to kink that, isn't it? Isn't it? All right, we're going to just tilt that like that so it doesn't kink. I know it's not realistic that you'd have it mounted in such a way, but I'm just going to do it like this so you can see here, what's going on. Let's see. This is tough, man. I should have had like a much better... Oh, yeah. I was like, where's that cable for that pump? There, we'll go over here. Go over here. I should have had like a switch. It's still so far. Oh, man. Thank goodness I've got another extra cable extension ready to go. If I can only remember where I put it. It's right over. Not there. Not there, not there, not there. I don't know where it went. But it was somewhere. All right. You know what? I'm going to do, let's see. We'll go like this. Go like this. Try not to, have this here. Yeah, do that. We'll angle this so you folks at home can see the water in action, running, and potentially spraying onto me if it's done poorly. If it starts making noise, I'll unplug it. Oh, I heard something. Well, I don't see flow happening here, so I'm going to unplug that and see what's going on here. You know what? I might have to avoid showing you just to make sure things are running properly here. So And then once it is running properly, then I can show you. So we'll move this over like this. I'm going to put this up like so. So we have a nice, I'm just going to lean that there. There we go. Got some nice smooth movements here with these tubes. All right. Put this on here. I hear movement, or at least some spinning. Don't see any flow. It's not encouraging. So we'll just open this guy and see what's going on here. We may just have like so little water in here. So I will fill this guy some more. Keep this guy. Note my shaky hands. Shaky, shaky hands. Yeah, that guy was dry. So we will fill this with even more water. Should have probably primed that rad before I started. It's probably a good source of the air. Oop, there we go. Let's just like bring this rad here. Just give it a little shaky poo. Shake this guy here. Tap, tap. Now, screw this in again. We'll run through this a couple times. Just make sure that we are getting sealed. Oop. Now we'll run through this all over again. Where are you? Power. We'll run you again, and we'll get all these air bubbles out. If it does burst, 1,000 plus views. Yep. Yeah. Let's see. Here, some movement. But I don't see any again. So we might be here a little while, folks. It's like the 3-hour fill and open and fill episode here. Oof. I keep almost losing this. I have a feeling it's going to like go. I'm like using the camera to see. Yeah, we're filling it. It's good. It's good news. It's taking more and more liquid. Maybe we just need to do this a few more times. Make sure that everything's full. Maybe I should just like seal it with my hand and give it a shake. No, that doesn't help. That doesn't help. Let's see. There we go. We're getting some of the water down into the, you can't really see it very well here, but we are getting some of that water down into the block. So that is good news. Like that. I want it plopping all over. And we continue the process of filling it up. Oh, I can hear it hitting water now. That's encouraging. There we go. Just gonna give this guy a little rattle, shake, rattle, and roll. It's not quite doing it how I was hoping, but oh, there we go. We got a bubble that went away. Good news. Okay. Okay. Still have some water in there, so I'm gonna seal this guy up. Right now, we're still not seeing any leaks. That's a good sign, right? Yeah, your 3800. What, your pump fail? Freaky Monday on your 3800X. we'll run the power again on this guy, just for the hell of it. Right, make sure those lines are all good. Oh, that's good. I'm seeing some movement here. All right, good. Yeah, seeing some air bubbles moving here. That's good news. All right. So we'll try doing this the bad way, right? They're gonna say, don't do this. There we go. Just do a quick little thing to purge any liquid out. And then we open it up and fill it again. So I have a feeling I'm gonna show this time sort of the movement through the block here. Once I have, or not through the GPU block. Once I got this baby filled again, this sweet baby filled. Oof. Meniscus, baby. Thank goodness for surface tension. Come on. A little bit. Just a little bit, please. Gonna want to drop, are you? Let's see. Can we maybe bring this guy down? I still have a bit of air bubbles here. That helped bring that down. It's good news. Okay. We'll put this back in and we'll see. We should be able to see some movement in the block now. I'm gonna take that, wipe that. I'm gonna put that down, and we're gonna go like this, so you guys can see here. I should put like something underneath this, just so we can, so you guys can see. What can I put underneath? What do I have that will fit? You know what? Do I have? That won't fit there. I gotta keep that from kinking. Okay, we'll go like so. I think that's actually good. No, that's kinked. All right, there we go. Not kinked. Good. All right. I think you can see. Yeah. Here we go. We'll run it like this and we'll see what happens, eh? You've seen some movement here. Oh, we're kinked. That's fine. There we go. Now we're not kinked. I hear the pump running. It's not encouraging. All right. We'll undo that. And then we'll see. I actually am so tempted to just cut this thing off. It's so annoying. But again, you know what we'll do? I'm gonna do a quick little run of the pump like this, and we will yes. Yep. Pump is getting a little frisky. So that's a good thing, but yeah. Now we'll open it up and we'll add some more water. Thus the process goes. I think that might be the best way to do it. I don't think we're going to get too far with trying to run it until I've done this a few times, I think. It's taking a lot of water, though. It's thirsty. Oh, there we go. I think this thing's taken about what? Yeah, like how much? Check my milliliters here on the bottle. How much has actually gone into this system? Because I think I was around like 600 mil right now. No, not 600. This is a half liter. It's probably around 400 mil. So I've put about 250 milliliters in. So about a cup of water thus far. Let's make sure that this is not kinked. Good. And oh wait, we'll go up like this. All right. Here is our trend here of doing this. We'll just go like this. Go. She's back to dry. It's like one. This is the one of the caveats of having a small reservoir. All right, so this thing basically has the tiniest reservoir in the world, and when you have like a larger water cooling reservoir, you could just like pump in. Like you can just put in like 300 mil of coolant, right? And it just and then you just go to town and you run it through and you can get most of your loop filled in like one shot, depending on how many rads and how much tubing you've got. Maybe fill it like twice and then top it with as the bubbles work their way through. So this guy here, what a pain. It's all right though. You know what? It's all right. Just shows you how it seals. Hey, it doesn't seal until it's all the way down. There we go. See? Go. Again, thankfully this is all like distilled water, so it's like very easy to clean up. We'll run this. Yeah, I see some water running. Now we're back to the noise. Wash, lather, rinse, repeat. Such is the way. Get that. Displace the water in that hex key. There we go. So I have a feeling we're gonna probably have about what? We might actually tap out this this little bottle here. I might have to refill it. I got plenty of distilled water around. It's handy for the coffee maker, especially when you're in an area that has high minerals in the water. Definitely do not recommend adding tap water to your loop for any reason, unless it's like an absolute emergency situation or you're trying to run like a cleaning cycle of like, so not even, I would say not even when you're trying to run a cleaning cycle. That's also a bad idea. I wonder what happens if we run it with it open. Let's see. Will it just sort of, oh, that's nice. I don't have to seal it. I can just run it while it's open. Isn't that handy? There we go. Try running it again. Get rid of some more of these air bubbles. Okay. Okay. I like where this is going. All right. So we're going to close this guy off now. I think we're at a point where we've got enough liquid in the system that this is not going to dry. Dry pump, as horrible as that sounds. And we shall see here. All right, lay that down, make sure our tubes aren't kinked. And, oh, you know what? I'm going to disconnect this, do this quick disconnect off. I'm going to maybe do a little filling from here just to get rid of a few more air bubbles here. Yeah, I think we're looking a little murky here, but that's, I think, mostly because of the residue in the rad. Come on. This like bubble here is just like sitting there. Like, why won't you go in? Thankfully, I can just do a reverse here. So have this. Oh, Suck a little bit of that out. There we go. All right, time to put this baby back on, and we'll try running this, and we'll show the folks at home just exactly what's happening here. But this is the joy of actually probably the least joyous part of any sort of water cooling loop is the bleeding of the system. You know, just sort of bleeds your patience dry. There we go. And we're gonna look at this guy here, but first, see, this is why I have it in this chunky thing, just to hold it from flopping over, dying. So we'll plug that in. There we go. Come on. Why are you not running now? Huh? Acting all like you. There we go. Okay. So here we are. Got some flow here going. All right. I'm going to try tilting this guy here to get some of these air bubbles out. Gonna try not to hit that as well on. There we go. Try putting this pump at the highest point, as never recommended. Getting some more air bubbles out. Got some air bubbles in these tanks. There we go. Water pump is complaining again, saying, "I'm thirsty. You are giving me no water." All right. We shall try and give you some more water. We shall try and give you some more water. Yes. What did your friends say? What, you need more water? You're cranky and you need more water? Please give me water. Yeah. Like, please give me water. And you're like, no, I am Robloxix, the owner of all the water. Just like, what's his face from, what you call it? That one movie where they got the water and they're in, Mad Max. Yeah, Fury Road. That's the one. All right, we'll run this out. Oh, complaining again. Good. So we fill it some more. And thus it goes on and on and on until baby's running. Oh, no, it's not running right now. Now she be running. Oof, get out of here. Fitting. I think we're getting there. Let's get this baby running here. There we go. Got some air bubbles through. No? Kinks happening here. There we go. There we are. Got the air bubble in there. Beauty. Fill this baby up. I'll try putting this lid back on and we'll see how she goes. Right now though, looking at the air bubbles in the system itself, I'm going to say that this looks like it actually potentially could drive the water well enough to run this thing. So I think we might be onto something here. Just saying. Just saying, peoples. Just saying. Let's see. This guy, I'm going to run it like that. Okay, yep. Okay, let's see. Let's see here. Okay, I think we're running all right here. Yeah. So, put this guy down here like this. And you can see here. Some more air bubbles here, but oh, we got a kink. Got a kink here. Another kink here. Ay, ay, ay. Some kinky boots here. Let's see here. I'm just gonna quickly maneuver this air this way. There we go. Nope. Oh, what's going on? Flowing? No, we got a kink over here. It's like, let's see. Let's see. We open this and see what happens. It's running, so. Oh, sounds like we need some water in there. There we go. I think we're running. Running half decently. Let's see. I'm gonna seal this baby up. We will check. Okay, that is sealed. All right, we got this running. Sealed. I see we've got not a lot of air bubbles in here anymore. We got a little bit of air trapped over here, as you can see. There's a little here trapped. Actually, let's try running this like that, and we'll see. Oh, we can bleed that out of the system. Oh, now we're gonna run these bubbles through again. Let's see here. How's this gonna run? Make sure that's smooth. That's smooth. All right, we're not getting any sort of kinks here. Let me see. The flow doesn't look too bad. You see those bubbles moving pretty decently. You know what? think, oops, this guy's not moving now. So good, but there we go. Okay. I'm gonna actually unplug this because I have a feeling I'm gonna need some more water. I'm gonna actually grab some really quick. I'll be right back. I am back. All right, let's see here. Thank goodness for good old President's Choice distilled water. Nothing but the finest for this loop. It is a thirsty loop, though. I'll give it that. I think it had, looks like it had probably 300, 350 mil of water. And we shall see here what else. I'm going to top this pump here up. Spray bottles are a little bit annoying when you try and tighten the lid because they start spraying. So let's see here. Not there. We'll try running this pump a little bit more. See if there's open it up. See what she's saying. What you saying, pump? You sound quiet. Is it even running? I don't think this pump is running. Did I break it? I hope not, because that would be a bummer, because this thing looked like it was just starting to work. Let's see. It's not doing anything there. Oh, boogers. This water's starting to creep out. Creepy water. Did I just burn out the pump? I hope not, because that would be a real bummer. Let's see. We'll just cut this and see what happens. Okay, shut that. Get that wiped. What's going on here? Huh? What's going on? This is see if that extension may be the issue. Nope. No, I hear it. It's running. At least I'm pretty sure it's running. Let's see here. Walking all over the place. I gotta put it to my ear, see if I can hear it. Oh yeah, it's running. It's really quiet though. That's the pump. Oof, as I keep bumping things, kinking things. My goodness, what is wrong with me? Just a mess. I don't know though. Feel like this might. I don't know. This thing feels like it might have failed. I don't know, it's very quiet, and I'm wondering is that because it's like totally full of water and it's like whisper quiet, or is the pump just like straight up burned out and is not interested in any more antics or activities? Just don't know. Just don't know. Let's see here. Well, there is bubbles right here, and they do seem agitated while it runs. So there is one other test that could always be done. Like we could try draining some water out, right? This is the output. This is the input. I think we might have just gotten rid of all the air bubbles. Let's see here. First, try moving those guys through. They are moving. Which is encouraging. Let's see here. Right, like this guy is. Okay, I hear it. No, I can hear it. It's just it was so quiet because it was so full of water. Yeah. Now I can hear it again. Yeah. She works. She works. Disaster averted. But you know what? I have a feeling that this actually might be half decent as far as how it's. Let's see. Let me see if I can hear it. I think we're good. I think we're full. absolutely fold up here. All right. And it works. To a degree, it works. So I'm kind of happy with that. And I think the water movement actually isn't terrible in this. So I just gotta, jeez, these soft tubes again. The issue with soft tubes is, yeah, it can be a real pain in the bum as far as how it's, you know, as far as not kinking them. But there you go. It is running. You can see a little bit of movement on the bubble here. And so part of the reason why I think it's not terrible on this is twofold. Number one, I replaced the fittings with much higher flow fittings. Hey, Virgo, I will not give it to you. The 3090 is $500. Tell ASMR I promised it to you instead of him, and just watch him explode. But yeah, you can see the water bubble here flickering and moving, right? And so like when I unplug it, you're going to see it stop once I unplug it. Come on. Come on. There, see? It has stopped. And then when I plug it back in, it's moving again. So I bet if I took some of the water out, you would probably see some bubbles flowing through quite easily, quite well. Again, yeah, this pump is definitely not a D5, definitely not a what is it? Was it DDC pump either, right? So I feel like this actually could handle like a low grade CPU and this GPU under light gaming load. I don't think you can be doing any like hardcore benchmarking with it, and plus this rad is kind of wimpy. I would probably actually want to damage on the fins there. I actually probably want to use one of my I have a 60 mil Corsair rad, which I'd probably would rather run on this. And I feel like that Corsair rad, the 60 mil thick one, would be better overall for flow, just because there's more volume in it, more cross-sectional area for the water to flow through. So by design, I guess less restriction. I don't know. Maybe not. But I might pop this on my wife's 1050 i5 10500 or 10400, sorry, and pop this 3090 in and maybe reroute some of this. I think it should work if I have this attached on the motherboard like so. When I did the test setup. Oof! Oh, please don't tip. Thank you. Yeah. So when I did like the test fit, this was like right on the CPU, and it wasn't terrible. Like it was like, I don't know, roughly over here. And the idea was that I would have the rad would be like more over like this, because it is a P3. So exactly, you got to put the Lambo engine in the Corolla just to give it a chance, you know? Hey, Corolla is a very reliable car, okay? But yeah, overall though, I'm actually pretty happy with the weight, and I didn't actually talk about the second part of why I think this actually could flow half decent enough. So in these Bixby blocks, there is, number one, this back portion here doesn't provide too much flow restriction. Like it's pretty open. It's just and basically it's like the water's running through an open field. You know, these passages are not very restrictive whatsoever. It flows quite easily. On this other side here, these pieces here are quite quite broad. So like there's wide passages between these microfins. And as a result of that, I think they'll allow for half decent flow. This thing is getting pushed again. I'm just gonna move this off my desk. But yeah, these babies right here, you can see. Now you can see me. But yeah, they have there's actually decent width between them. Oh my gosh, this thing is so heavy. I can't hold it with one hand. It weighs so much. But yeah, so there we have it. We've got this baby here. I'm gonna actually just like, should I maybe just try taking this out? See, actually, no. I want to take this piece away and move it so it's not contacting any metal. Yeah, this thing here just weighs a freaking ton. Literally, I'm like, I could probably sell this water block for copper and make like half the money I paid for it back. Like, it's that heavy. It's so tough with this backplate to even like access your PCI release. That's probably another reason why these PCI release. Just look at this thing. It's like a bajillion pounds. Oh, it weighs so stinking much. I can just leave it like that. Put this here then. Yeah, actually the whole coolant system here would flow nicely. I wonder. As I push this in, do I invite disaster? Or do I invite success? Okay, I'm seeing some little bubbles moving here. Yeah, that guy is moving. It is moving some water. I almost like want to put like some particles in just to see them moving through the block. So what you guys can see or not see here is like, yeah, maybe that isn't flowing too well. Now that's because that is maybe restricting it. Yeah, these water bubbles are not flowing too fast. That's not very encouraging. Let's just put it that way. Not super encouraging. There we go. Oh. Suddenly it sparks to life. Yeah, I'm not seeing super amounts of flow here. There we go. That bubble's moving all right. It's getting a little bit of disturbance there. That's nice. Let's tilt this back. Get that bubble back up. Oh, I can't get the bubble back up. That's kind of a good thing, right? Yeah, it's going to want to move that bubble through. So the disturbance of that bubble, or some people would say the disturbance in the force, is kind of an encouraging sign that you're getting some decent flow. So yeah, you're getting some decent flow around those. It is a cute little bubble, isn't it? But it doesn't want to come back up here. Hey, like it doesn't. Yeah, like it just wants to stay. Like, come on, bubble. There we go. Okay, I got it back up. I got it back up here. All right. There we go. Okay. So let's open up the flow here. Make sure this is flowing nice. This is flowing nice. Yeah. Oh, that guy was a little bit kinked. Yeah. I think as long as you're not like kinking your tubes or running it with these like really stupid tiny little tube or little fittings that come with it, I think you could probably run it. And then this block here has much wider passages here, so that it's not super restrictive either. Yeah, you know what? I actually might try mounting this in my wife's rig. And let's just put this guy here on. Yeah, I might actually try running this in my wife's rig. Here, this is kinked. So as soon as it's free flowing, that's pretty free flowing. I'm also kind of curious because this also provides restriction. So what if I took out the, like what if I took out the quick release or the quick release. Yeah, so that there. If I took out the quick release. Just trying to get some of the more of this air out of here. This is so stinking heavy. Like trying to hold it up. Yeah, it looks like the disturbance of the bubble I think is a good indicator. I know these muscles. They're so weak. I'm so weak. Yeah, I'm seeing some very, very tiny little bubbles moving here, but they're not moving very fast. But again, that just might be like the friction between the plate here and those said bubbles. Oh, we do have this here. Yeah, you can see those bubbles moving actually decently. Maybe not these, but there was one that came around here fairly quick. I gotta be careful too, like if I'm tilting it, it's gonna make it look like it's going faster as well, right? But yeah, some of these are kind of moving. Gotta be careful not to lift this up too much. Make sure that these are all... Oh, there we go. Nice big air bubble. See, there you go. You can see it move through there pretty good. Yeah, that's going pretty good. That's some pretty decent movement. Not terrible. Not the greatest, but it's not terrible either. I should have another bubble on here just to show, but no, they're here. You can see kind of here. Oh, this was so this is it's restricted right now, but as soon as I unrestrict it, oof. So I think we have we got a big kink back here, so I'll put this back here. And then yeah, you can see it run through pretty good. Yeah. That moves pretty fast. And you can tell it's not just angled this way because they're coming this way and then back here pretty quickly. So that's a good indicator. That is a good indicator. So I think it's possible. I think it's possible. I think we can do it. I think this little baby could do it. That is my conclusion from my experiment, is that it can do it. At least to the point where we need to go to more practical experimentation. So I'm talking, this needs to be in a system actually cooling. This has to be actually running. The fans on those Corsair blocks would come in really handy right now, but I don't need Corsair fans. I don't need no Corsair fans. I don't need no Corsair fans. How loud is the pump right now? Actually, the pump is actually quite quiet. Here. Right now, actually, well, it is on the block here. This pump. This pump is it is quite quiet. Once the liquid is in there and like the bubbles are out. So let's see. We've got this now. Kinks are out, right? Kinks are out. I'm gonna plug this in, and I'm gonna put it on the microphone. So this is, oof, please don't fall. Like, here we go. All right, so right now though, there's some air bubbles have gotten into the pump, just so you know. But right now the pump is running. We've got a kink here, so get that kink out. And then I'm gonna bring the pump right to the microphone here. And so that's the pump running right now. I don't know if you can hear it. Maybe I need to, because it is on directional right now, so I'm going to put it right here. You hear that? Exactly. That's the point. It's super quiet right now. Oh, it's got a bubble in there now. Oh, it came out. But yeah. You hear that? So you can hear it when there's air in it, but like when it's full of water, I couldn't tell it was running. I thought it was dead. It was that good. So she's a quiet. I think I'm gonna actually put this in my wife's computer and see how it runs. Because this is great. I'm actually really excited about how well this went. I think with this combo, it could actually run pretty good. I'm a little bit concerned once she starts gaming, but she hasn't really gamed much lately. She's doing mostly like, artwork and that. So I'm actually kind of curious how this would. Oof. Really, the issue is am I gonna get? Is this gonna get so much soak on it that it's not gonna be able to clear away? But you know what? I don't think it's going to be an issue. Because think of it this way. We've got graphics cards out there that are running on 240 mil rads, right? They're running on a 240 mil rad. Her CPU basically can run just fine on a... man, I wish this thing would focus. Her CPU can basically run just fine on the stock cooler. So I don't think there's going to be any issue with it adding too much heat. Right now it's running on a Corsair H60 from like I don't know when. Like it's literally I think the Corsair H60 that's cooling her 10400 right now, I'm pretty sure is from 2012. And somehow it's still full of liquid. I'm actually kind of curious to like cut that open and just see what it's like inside that thing. Because I think that's like back before Corsair was even dreaming of taking shortcuts. Yeah, she's got a 120 mil AIO, and it's like, you know, I'm like, you know what, that 120 mil AIO is gonna be just fine for that. So you figure, you got 120 here for the CPU, and you've got 240 here for the GPU. I know, I really should. She says it's fine, but I will probably replace it with this, because I was planning on replacing it with this anyways after I rebuilt it. But I was like, you know what? Maybe I can run a full custom loop with this. So she'll get the MSI 3090 Supreme X. I'll maybe pull the 3090 FE out of hers right now and decide what I'm going to do with that. And also I'm going to replace her power supply. Right now, her power supply is probably shouldn't be running the 3090. She's running a 750 watt EVGA G2. Now, the EVGA G2s are pretty awesome power supplies, so I'm not super concerned, even though it's like a little bit beyond what that thing should be doing. But I am a little bit concerned. So I've got 1,000 watt Antec titanium power supply that I'm going to pop in hers, and that should be much nicer for running this baby here with its 3 8-pin power connectors and that GPU that she has, or the CPU that she has. And you know what? If this actually cools half decently, I actually might consider upgrading to a 60 mil thick rad, and at some point in the future upgrading her CPU. But at this point, not really thinking about that. Yeah, it is kind of dumb. I hate the 3 8-pins, to be honest. It's one of the things I'm like, oh, I kind of like those new 16-pin power connectors. But I don't know. First, before I start jumping into other ideas and plans, I do think what I probably will do is I'll probably put this in her build and try running it. First, I'm going to clear out this rad's still got some junk in it. I'm going to probably do a good rinse there. I might run. Looks like it's got. There's like there looks to be like a thread sitting on there. You probably can't see it, but there's like a little string of probably paint that came off. That's what it looks like. So I might run this in reverse. So we'll see. Yeah, we got this. Oh, I got some air bubbles here. But yeah, it is a minor annoyance. But I do want to clean this out a little bit better. I was thinking about selling this, but you know what? I might just pop this in hers, keep the other 3090, because those 3090 Founders Editions are so nice and small. I do want to do like maybe a small form factor water loop at some point. I might. And what I might do for that is I actually might take the one out of mine. At some point, I might think about going back to air cooling. I'm not sure. Depends. Like right now, I was thinking like if water cooling was like so much maintenance and so much work, that it got really annoying and like the joy of the hobby kind of came away, I would have been like, you know what? I think I might like go to air cooling again, just because air cooling is like literally the best as far as like low maintenance is concerned. If you're looking for a set it and forget it kind of PC, yeah, you definitely want air cooling. But for me, it's just I like the hobby of attaching tubes and running it from here to there, and I don't know if you noticed like tubes going in and here, cooling your brain. But I love the idea of like pulling heat away from things and bringing it here and then like getting rid of it. I just love that you can do that with water. And it's one of the things I love about water cooling. Air cooling, you're just sort of cooling it at the source, and the air's just going everywhere, and you're trying your best to direct it which way you want it to go, and all that. So that's why I love water cooling, is it just grabs that heat and then it transports it to the spot that you want to get rid of it, and you can get rid of it then just blowing it in whatever direction you want, and it's just so nice that way. So I'm actually kind of excited to use this. If it doesn't end up being strong enough, what I might end up doing is just getting another D5 with a reservoir, because I do have a CPU block for Intel. So I do have a CPU block for an Intel. So this has a block, obviously you have your cooling plate here. There's some skived fins on the back, micro fins for the water to flow over. This has a pump integrated into it, which I think when you hook up a D5 pump, this pump just ends up being just a restriction. So I might just get a D5 and a reservoir. You can grab those for like around $100 off AliExpress. Nice, reliable, runs super quiet, runs super, reliably. So I might just do that and then put in the block that I have already, because I originally started my water cooling journey, my water cooling journey with an 8700K, and that was water cooled with a 3090. This 3090. So it's this 3090 with this block and an 8700K, and I was running that through this rad and a 60 mil thick 360 rad from Corsair. So that was my original loop. Actually, very original was this guy, but just on an 8700K. Then I got the D5 pump. I got the block for this guy, and yeah, then it just sort of spiraled out of control. So, here I am. I've got fittings and all these things, and it's it's too much fun, to be honest. I really, really love it. Just being able to pull things apart and move them here and there. Now, granted, if something goes really wrong, that's going to be more of an issue where I'm like, I hate this, that I have to pull things apart and move them all around. Yeah. I know, small form factor builds, they're so nice to look at, and they're beautiful on their own, but like at the end of the day, it's like when you have to work on it, you're like, I just want to just I just want to throw it in the garbage and say no. But quick disconnects, they are very handy, and I've talked about this before. Quick disconnects are very handy for reducing the amount of maintenance. Oh my gosh, the wiring in small form factor, you just don't get a windowed one and just mash it all in a rat's nest. Actually, you kind of have to at some point get like a custom cable kit for your PSU, just so you can like get rid of that extra length on those cables. But yeah, my current build, I've got 4 quick disconnects. So I've got a quick disconnect on this side of the GPU and on this side of the GPU, between the GPU and CPU. And then I've got a quick disconnect between the CPU and the RAD. And then another one between the main RADs and my other RAD. Because I've got two 60 mil 360s and one 30 mil 360. And the two 60 mil 360s are actually off the wall. Actually, should I give like a quick little sneak peek? The wiring is absolutely horrendous in it. I might just like tilt the camera and show it, just for the hell of it. We've got, so yeah, there you can see the two 60 mil 360s. These are actually mounted off of the outside of the case. And this right here, this quick disconnect, actually runs up. This is the outlet from those two RADs. And then this quick disconnect comes from the CPU. And that runs right into the first one, or actually the top one. And then that runs through and then comes out the bottom one. And then down and down into this other guy, and then into the pump. So there you can see a little bit of my monstrosity. Let's see if I can just keep this camera still. There we go. Beauty. And that is a sneak peek of my build. I still want to get, I have a cable kit from Corsair that I want to run there. I've got like these 2 cable extensions for the, I think you saw them, the white cable extensions. They're kind of out of place a little. So it's kind of like a black and white and silver theme to build with a little bit of RGB. So not too much RGB. I'd like to say it's tasteful. But yeah, so plans for this. Yeah, I'll run this in my wife's build maybe and see what the temps are like. If the temps are bad, I actually might just take the whole thing just like straight out and just put the stuff that was in back in. That should be an easy enough in and out type deal. This will be all, I'm going to make sure that this is all sort of measured and connected, and I might drain this again just because it is just like distilled water right now. I do have some proper mixed coolant that I'll probably put into it and, you know, run that through. So we'll see. It'll be a labor of love, and, you know, her PC will be a lot cooler, hopefully run a lot nicer, and we'll see how it ends up. But at the end of the day, it's got to work. And if it doesn't work, it's not going to go in. So, and if it doesn't end up working, I'll probably keep some of this together. I'll drain it, and I'll probably grab a D5 pump on a reservoir and put the block that I have in storage right now for the Intel sockets on there. So, because I have an Intel block and I have an AMD block, and so the AMD block I have, it actually has holes for Threadripper, because I was like, ooh, that'd be kind of cool if I had a Threadripper. I could put it on there. That ended up being an issue because it interferes with the top M.2 heatsink. So I actually had to get I had to machine chamfer on the edge of it, and I faced it, and it made it look nice and polished. So it actually looks like it's supposed to be like that, but really I had to put a chamfer on it so it could clear the water block. So the water block that's in it is for AM5, AM4, and Threadripper sockets. So I've got an AMD one. I've got it. This guy has Intel and AMD brackets, so I can do that. I do have an Intel one as well, so we shall see. But right now it's more so just like being able to pretend I'm doing new builds, but really just keeping the same electronics and just moving cooling components around. So who knows, maybe water cooling, you know, once I have the components, right, it ends up saving me money in the long run, that I've got the components to, you know, fiddle around and put new cooling systems together and take them apart and put things in storage and that. And it sort of feeds that addiction of building PCs without actually having to buy new hardware. So, you know, that's the nice aspect of it. But I think these larger fittings and the broader passages here make it so that this might actually work just with this pump. So we shall see. I just have to find time to do it because things are busy. Christmas is coming. But yeah, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I just want to say, you know, thank you everybody for swinging by, for, you know, checking out the water loop. You know, creating loops is such a fun thing for me. I really enjoy it. And so, you know, having people hanging out and checking it out with me is, it's a nice, it's nice to enjoy it with other people, you know. And maybe, you know, you guys are like, kind of like, oh, you're kind of weird with how much you like it, or, you know, it's, I don't find any of that work that you're doing appealing, you know. As long as you're along for the ride though, that's, I think, the thing that feels good for me. And, you know, I appreciate. So I want to say thank you everybody for watching. Virgo, thank you. Robloxics for swinging by too. You too, Freaky Monday. It's been a long while. I don't know. Maybe will we see you on the stream this Friday? Actually, no. Wait. This Friday is this Friday? Is it Christmas Eve already? This Friday? What's this Friday? No, Saturday's Christmas Eve. All right, it's Christmas Eve on Friday. Yeah, I will definitely not be doing a stream on Monday. That's Boxing Day, and that will be like one of the 3 Christmases I will be doing. So yeah, there's going to be like my family Christmas, my immediate family, so like my family inside my house Christmas, and so siblings Christmas with my parents, my Christmas with my own family, then like extended family Christmas. So lots of busyness coming up, but I might sneak in a stream. Monday night. No guarantees though. I want to keep it sort of open so that I can, spend time with family, not worrying about content, etc. I might sneak back on the 27th and do a stream, but we'll see. I think we're gonna do a Friday night stream. So maybe, I don't know if anybody wants to, Virgo, if you or Freaky want to get back together and do the don't starve thing, where we're not starving together. We can do that, because that I think will be fun. So, but yeah, I think if I do if I do install this in my wife's computer, I'll probably try doing just like a heat test where and I think a good heat test is actually, she's got Call of Duty Black Ops installed, and I know that baby will put your GPU through its paces for sure. So that'll run this thing full tilt. So if I put this in hers, maybe we'll try running it like this, and I might do a little bit of thermal benchmarking where I'll record what the thermals are like running that, and who knows, it might not be enough, or it might be just fine. So I'll try running it. Might have to crank these babies a little bit, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. So I want to say again, though, thank you for watching, everybody. If you haven't, please hit that like button. I really, really appreciate it if you hit that like button. Also, if you're not subscribed, please consider subscribing. It's great to have people on. Love that, Robloxix. I've never, interacted with you outside of YouTube, and yet, you're such a solid viewer, and I really appreciate that. I know I said that last stream, and I appreciate it every stream, man. So, it's really cool that you dig what I'm putting out there, or maybe it's just like a good little background thing for you to listen to. Either way, I'm happy that I can be a positive thing in your life, and I can be a positive thing in other people's lives. I appreciate, I love to have that opportunity to do that for people. So thank you. And if anybody wants to, I don't know, see any of I might get some thermal information. I don't know if anybody wants information on these fittings, this tubing, this tool, or if you're interested in creating your own water cooling loop, custom or otherwise, this actually would be a really cheap way to get into it. I got this block with this, or this AIO pump block with this rad for like, I think I got it for like, I think it was like $175, which was a smoking deal at the time. Might be more expensive now, but you get this with this. actually the Eisbaer non-LT, so the normal Eisbaer, it has a bigger reservoir, and I think the pump on that is a little bit more powerful, so it actually might be even better suited for this sort of application. But yeah, this plus this was about 175 bucks Canadian. This guy here was like 200, so like you're looking at 375, and then 25 for this piece, so that's 325, that's 375, 400. Then you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of these fittings. I think you can get a 6-pack of these fittings for like 12 bucks. This fitting here for like 3 bucks. So you're 15, maybe, I don't know, say 5 bucks, say 20 bucks for the fittings. So you're like at 20 bucks for the fittings on top of that. So you're looking at what, 425 for a custom loop? That's a really, really good deal, to be honest. And, you know, or you could even try just getting an external pump as well. You're going to need a couple more fittings. Or you could try getting a full-on integrated pump. Because this, with this 175, you can get a $100 rad from Corsair. So you'd have a hard time finding a $75 block and pump. So these two together would be a pretty great deal. I know they had the Eisbaer 280 mil on sale on I think it was like $100 on Amazon. But it's a really great way if you want to get into water cooling. I love that about Alphacool's AIOs, that they have the G1/4 fittings on here and on here, so you can, you know, pull it apart. You can experiment with it. You can get some fittings, get some tubes, try running some things. And, you know, the great thing is, too, you can run something like this outside of a computer. You can just, you know, plug this guy in and you can do your leak testing if you want, you know, all while it's sitting outside of the PC. And then when it comes time, you just paste your CPU, bolt this guy in, screw this onto your chassis, pop this into your GPU holder, and you're good to go. It's a lot quicker than, you know, you would think, like, you know, people talking about, you know, hours and hours. Like, look at this. I did a 2-hour stream. Most of it I was talking, and most of it was me filling this. So putting the tubing together, cutting it, is relatively quick. I got this tubing from McMaster Car. I got this from Newegg. I got these guys from AliExpress. I do have another water cooling video where I go much more in depth. If you want to look at links for some of these AliExpress fittings and products, you know, GPU blocks, feel free to go there. I've got affiliate links which will help me out if you use them, but if not, that's cool. But if you really want to help me out, the answer is down below in the description. There's a link to my wife's art store. It actually helps her out most of all, which I'm really happy to do. This is my whole goal here, is that if I can get viewership, I can get exposure to her art, and that's the end game for me. So check that out. If there's something that talks to you from her store, feel free, buy it. It's a little bit too late for you to get it before Christmas, but, you know, treat yourself. But yeah, thanks again, though, everybody, and I hope everybody has a lovely night. If I don't see you on Friday, have a Merry Christmas, and hopefully we'll do a stream before the New Year. I might even consider doing a New Year's stream. Might be doing some gaming with my wife, because I do want to spend New Year's with her, because yeah, she's my #1 fan, and I'm her #1 fan. So, and this is an only fan. So with that, I will say good night, everybody. Have a wonderful, wonderful night, and thanks again for watching. See you later.